Popping, y'all. Welcome back to I Do It Myself. Yo, I'm just doing episodes. We just dropping whenever we feel like it, however we feel like it, whenever we feel like it. And today I want to talk about LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. So yo, who would have known? Who would have known that after the Drake and Kendrick Lamar battle, that this would be the battle of 2025, sports versus sports media? I ain't gonna front. I'm liking what LeBron doing right now with him talking because he's been so quiet. But Bron is vocal when he wants to be vocal, right? Like Bron does the shop. He does, things that he wants to do with his own production company. But he stopped by Pat McAfee show. So I don't know if everybody here is a sports fan. If you're not, Pat McAfee show is like the white version of It Is What It Is, Cameron and Mace. Like they on there, they talk however they want about whatever they want. What I love about it also is that it's on ESPN. So there's no, ESPN is supposed to be, it's owned by Disney. So you think of it as this family-friendly sports channel, right? That involves just like entertaining, energetic sports talk. But at the same time, you got to remember, it's people that when they talk about sports, they talking from a different type of level. They talking about it raw and uncut. And that's why I love Pat McAfee show. That's why I love It Is What It Is. But Braun was on there. And, of course, he had some things to say about the whole Stephen A. Smith, him and Stephen A. Smith getting into it at the game. Let's watch that, and then I'm going to give y'all my thoughts on that right quick.
Like a moment that had been brewing for a long time.
He's like on a Taylor Swift tour run right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're watching it. Yep. We're all seeing it.
Oh, yeah.
You're seeing it as well.
He literally, it started off with, I didn't want to address it.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't want to address it. I wasn't going to address it. But since the video came out, I feel the need to address it.
Yeah, well, viral. You would be not to talk about it.
Are you kidding me? If there's one person that couldn't wait to the video to drop so you could address it, it's your ass. Like, seriously, and like another, he completely like missed the whole point. The whole point. Never would I ever not allow people to talk about the sport, criticize players about what they do on the court. That is your job, to criticize or to, be in a position where, okay, if a guy's not performing, that is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players.
So, Braun wilding Stephen A. up. Now, listen. Stephen A. Smith, honestly, to me, is the biggest winner in all of this because we talking about competing in the media field. So this is bringing more attention in this, I'm not going to say ever, but yeah, ever. I mean, think about it. I've never seen Michael Jordan or, any high-profile player like a Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan even, go back and forth with a sports commentator, the biggest sports commentator, on video from different platforms. This is the first time we ever seen anything like this, and it's historic. But LeBron is cooking Stephen A. Smith, yo. I'm not going to lie. He's cooking Stephen A. Smith. And for one, he's going to lead in perception. Perception is reality for a lot of people. Now, I don't think he's wrong. Now, when I did my video talking about the whole incident, I felt like Braun shouldn't have did that in that setting. But also, you cannot choose how somebody reacts to your actions, right? So Stephen A. Smith, he keeps going on a rant and a tirade about how, what did I do? Like, what did I do other than say, which he said, no. The thing when he said you as a father, that's when you change it. That's what Braun is talking about, you personalizing it. Now, I also don't believe that Braun could totally unbiasedly let his son be criticized without some sort of feeling away. Now, don't get me wrong, like as a parent myself, there's been times that my children have been, not talked about negatively, but when you got to speak with a teacher, when you got to speak with a coach, because my kids play sports, all three of my kids play sports, but when you got to deal with, certain people in certain settings and they have to tell you about your kid, sometimes you got to be able to take a step back and realize that your kid that you deal with, that's your child, is different than the person that is different than how people see them as, right? I learned that during COVID time when the kids had to be home for all day. They different versions of themselves at school than they are at home. So you get to see a different side. Now, we talking about Bronny being a player. Bronny as a player, I don't know if y'all seen, but he just had 39 in the G League game. The other night he had 17, you know what I'm saying, when they was playing Milwaukee. But keep in mind, it was a blowout game. So we should celebrate Bronny's accolades, but at the same time, let's keep it 1,000. The reason why we talk about the 55th pick, like everybody always likes to run into, is because he's LeBron James' son. He's not just a 55th pick. We watched this kid literally grow up from the time he was little, from the time he was a baby. We watched him in front of our own eyes in the media grow up to be a man and now make it to the NBA, which I think that one day he'll be able to hold his own. I think that the thing that hurts Bronny the most is being on the same team with his dad. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like there's a veil of protection on him, as it should be. I'm all for nepotism. I ain't gonna lie. I'm all for nepotism. If you can get your kid a job that somebody else can't get, do it. Why not? You ain't working, busting your ass all day, all night, so that your kids can't benefit off of your hard work, right? But then Bron also talks about Brian Windhorst. Now, look, I ain't gonna lie, for a lot of years growing, because when Bron came into the league, how old was I? 2003. I think I was I 19 going on 20 that year? I was 19 going on 20 that year. So or was I 20 going on 20? I was 19 going on 20. I was 19 going on 20. Seeing Brian Windhorst over Bron's career, I mean, I always thought that he had some sort of personal relationship with Bron, or he has some sort of rapport with Bron, because he talk about Bron like they homies for real. But Bron finally got a chance to talk about it, and let's check that out right quick.
Too, like I seen Brian Windhorst on one of these shows not too long ago. Like
Wendy.
Yeah, you played over high school.
Wendy, you guys played together in high school.
Yeah,
right? He was on your high school
this
team.
guy was like, says he's like my best friend. These guys are just weird. But
Wait,
Wendy,
What the-
he wasn't on,
That's not real.
ain't that That's not real.
Yeah, he was our enforcer, huh?
knew it.
He went on his show and said, oh, don't let LeBron fool you. Like, he wears number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Okay, that's a fact. He signed with Nike because of Michael Jordan. It's like, no, the fuck I didn't. I signed with Nike because I got a hell of a signing bonus, and they gave me a 7-year, $90 million contract. And I moved my mom out of the hood the next day I signed that contract.
Bron got y'all on the hibachi, like he got y'all in the slow cooker. Like he got y'all in the slow cooker. Like Bron is, I ain't gonna front. When LeBron retires, if this how he gonna be talking, I'm subscribing to whatever he doing. I'm subscribing to whatever Bron doing if this is how he talking. So remember he had the podcast with him and JJ Redick. You know what I'm saying? They did the small, well, did they do a podcast together, or they just did one episode and they broke it down? I can't remember exactly. I'm just shooting off the hip. But see, even at that point, they was just talking ball. I love to hear Bronny's real thoughts, because Bron is always looked at as this aside from his hate, aside from the hate that people give Bron is always looked at as like this super nice guy, this family guy, all of that, right? Like, people forget he's still also a nigga from Akron, Ohio. Like, let's not get that twisted. Of course, he's been rich for more than half of his life at this point. He's been doing great for more than half of his life at this point. But don't ever forget where you came from. That's how you know where you're going. So seeing Bron talk like this is like, I look at this like Bron being in a barbershop. Well, I mean, he has the show to shop. But I mean, you get what I'm saying. It's just locker room talk, basically, right? But Stephen A went off to say a few things regarding Bron. And of course, he's going on to a whole thing now. And I would too. Like, I ain't gonna lie. If I'd have known that this is how this worked, I'd have been on my YouTube shit years ago. But he's going to this whole thing about Bron not being able to be compared to Michael Jordan. And let's get this right. Bron said it on the last clip. Yes, he wears the number 23 because of Michael Jordan. We're not going to act like Michael Jordan didn't have influence over everybody who was born in the 80s. If you wasn't born in the 80s, that's cool. Even if you was born in the 90s, you'll know Michael Jordan's influence. You know what I'm saying? Because you still would have been able to see a lot of it in close proximity. If you was born in the early 90s or even in the late, well, nah, my little brother born in the late 90s. He know what Michael Jordan is, though. But anyway. So before I play this clip about what Stephen A said, because Stephen A says something that I feel is absolutely ridiculous. But aside from that, he had told Bron that if he said if Bron would have slapped him, he would have swung him immediately. Like, when now y'all done drifted off. Now you done drifted off into this other lane, right? You done drifted off into this other lane where I feel like Stephen A. Smith, stop it, my nigga. Like, let's not get it twisted. We got respect and love for Stephen A. Smith. I think that with everything that's going on, LeBron still has love for him as a guy doing what he's doing. But for you to say that to even bring up a hypothetical like that, like sometimes I do bring up hypotheticals from time to time, but I'm not never bringing up something like LeBron James swinging. We ain't seen LeBron James in one fight in his whole NBA career. He's never swung on anybody. I think the biggest thing he got into was the shit with him and Isaiah Stewart when Isaiah Stewart was trying to fight him. But that's the most I've ever seen Bron in a confrontational space. Now, Bron is 6'8", 260 pounds. There's not nothing you doing with that. You swinging on him is like, what? You gonna swing and hit his stomach? Because you ain't reaching, like, Stephen A. Smith ain't got that much of a reach. But let's go into this clip where Stephen A. talks about a couple of accolades that Jordan has that Bron doesn't have, and one in particular, the Defensive Player of the Year.
Defensive Player of the Year. Michael Jordan captured that once. That has never been an honor bestowed upon LeBron James. All NBA defensive first team, 9, tied for most all time to LeBron James 5. He's still 4 short despite having a minimum of 7.
I think that take is just ridiculous. And the reason why I think it's ridiculous is because LeBron James not getting a Defensive Player of the Year award in 22 years shows me how ridiculous the awards can be. Name one year in all of the years that you've been watching basketball. I've been watching basketball since 1990, since I was about in the 2nd grade. Yeah, that's how long I've been watching basketball. So I've watched LeBron's entire career from the time he's been drafted up until now. Kobe, AI, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Steve Nash. I mean, I watched everybody growing up. Name a year when you can't remember LeBron not being elite with defense. Now, granted, I know Dwight Howard got it before. Giannis has gotten it. But even everything that Giannis has done where he's won Defensive Player of the Year, you think Bron, when you think of Bron, aside from what we all know that he could do, he has the most points in NBA history. He's, the most points in NBA history. He's got all these different records. Every time you think about LeBron, aside from his offensive dominance, defense, the chase down block, like the chase down block is almost like the Michael Jordan fadeaway. Know what I mean? Like, did Bron invent the chase down block? No, he probably didn't, but he popularized it. Like the chase down block, when you see somebody chase down block, you immediately think of Bron doing that. So that outside of everybody that he's done locked up, put clamps on, or even suppressed, because everybody gets scored on. I don't care. We've seen Kobe give LeBron buckets. We've seen a lot of people give LeBron buckets, but we've also seen LeBron lock a lot of people up, and we've also seen him bump people out the playoffs. I mean, think about it. Generations, like decades, 2.25 decades, 2.25 decades of dominance, 2.25 decades of ball playing. And this is coming from me, who y'all know, super Michael Jordan, super Kobe Bryant, but we're not going to deny LeBron's greatness. But seeing Stephen A. Smith do all this, it's just petty. And I understand it because from a media standpoint, you got to entertain, and I'm entertained. That's why I'm even talking about it with y'all. Y'all got to let me know in the comments what y'all think about all of this, because like I said, this is like Drake and Kendrick all over again, but with media. If you made it this far, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because I need all that. You heard? I need all of that. As far as the merch is on its way. I am working on a lot of things to iron out. Let me tell y'all something, right? In my media career, I've never had like a team of people. I've never had a manager. I've never had people who work on my stuff besides me. Aside from, of course, working with the complexes, the Amazons, which is obvious, but I'm talking about all of the stuff that I did in between all of that, I've always done independently. Even when I got the Amazon, I did that independently. I didn't have a manager that pitched me for them. So I'm trying to get my together seriously, so I make sure that when we do start dropping the merchandise, y'all are not waiting. Y'all don't have to complain about the site not being right. Y'all don't have to complain about sizes running out. Y'all don't have to complain about anything, because I want to provide that for y'all, because y'all provide for me with watching and engaging in my content. This is I do it myself. I am Wayno. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually will. I will catch y'all tomorrow on Friday, and we're going to do Saturday, Sunday, whatever. I'm doing whatever I want because I can. Peace.